Your Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it is 35 degrees here in Milwaukee. Today, windy with occasional showers and possibly storms with a high of 51. And tonight, a low of 21. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nazir Spencer. Hundreds of federal and local law enforcement will surround tonight's Oscar Awards in Los Angeles. There is no known threats, but News Nation's Sandra Mitchell reports officials aren't taking any chances amid the conflict in the Middle East.
In addition to LAPD and federal officers, there also will be about 1,000 private security officers in the area. Stepped-up security comes after the FBI alerted local police last month that Iran could be planning a retaliatory drone strike on the West Coast. This weekend, some of the security will be in the skies over the Walk of Fame, helicopters and drones. There are numerous street closures, and there will be even more just before the celebrity arrivals.
1,000 private security guards have been hired. A Dodge County inmate is on the run after failing to return to jail from work release Saturday. Officials say Anthony J. Johnson left the Dodge County jail around 7:04 Saturday morning under Huber privileges to go to work in Oakfield. Investigators say he reported to work but left the job site later in the afternoon in a blue 2000 Chevy Trailblazer with Wisconsin plate ASD 9787. The vehicle was last seen by a license plate reader in Fond du Lac around 3:55 Saturday afternoon. Authorities say Johnson has ties to Mayville and Fond du Lac areas. A suspected dating app predator was found guilty on all counts.
55-year-old Timothy Olson was convicted of kidnapping a woman from a restaurant as well as drugging and stealing from women he met on dating apps. The trial dragged into the weekend after Olson, who represented himself, repeatedly interrupted the judge as well as experienced multiple medical episodes. A sentencing hearing and a motion hearing have been scheduled for Tuesday, March 17th. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
A bill that would mandate Wisconsin public schools to provide education on child sexual abuse and prevention is scheduled for a vote in the state Senate next week. Known as Aaron's Law, it aims to help kids recognize abuse and speak up before it escalates. 38 other states have adopted it, but it's been shot down several times in Wisconsin. Child safety advocate Aaron Marin tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
This is not sex ed. This is not teaching kids about gender, how a baby is made. This is literally teaching kids what a safe and unsafe touch is, what a safe and unsafe secret is. And I'm asking for 1 hour out of a school year. This is a no-brainer.
If approved by the state Senate, it heads to the governor's desk. Traffic shifts are coming next week on the west leg of I-94 East-West project.
Wisconsin DOT's Eric Hansen says crews will make the first move Wednesday night.
We are scheduled to do a traffic shift in the eastbound direction between 70th Street and Zablocki Drive.
Drivers heading into Thursday should notice added capacity.
Eastbound is scheduled to be back open to 3 lanes, and then we'll close the westbound exit to 68th Street. But the good news here is we will also be opening the General Mitchell ramps.
All this in preparation for the Brewers' home opener. But as usual, it's all weather dependent. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:03.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $14.98 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's springtime, and instead of getting outside and having fun, you have to paint the deck, repair the boards, and discover more rotten wood on your deck. Call Outdoor Living Unlimited to replace the old beaten-down wood deck with a beautiful new composite deck with new railing. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks lost to the Hawks 122-99. They are back at it again today at 2 against the Pacers here in Milwaukee. You can listen to the game right here on 620 WTMJ. The Wisconsin Badgers lost their game against Michigan on a buzzer beater, 68-65 in the Big Ten tournament. Selection Sunday begins today at 5. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic, we do have a crash on I-41 about Highway 45 south at ramp from Capitol Drive. That right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. Doesn't seem to be blocking any traffic, just some police are on the scene just to take care of the situation. So just be mindful of that. If you're heading up north for any reason, make sure you are going slow this morning, as it is very, very dangerous up there with the snow going on this morning. Otherwise, looking pretty clear across the rest of the system in this area.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, winter weather advisory for Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties until 4 p.m. this afternoon and 10 a.m. this morning for Washington and Ozaukee counties. Today, windy with occasional showers and possibly storms. Some mixed north with a high of 51, though cooler north. And today, also with a winter weather advisory goes into effect at 10 p.m. tonight for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaukee counties until 4 p.m. on Monday. Tonight, very windy with rain or storm changing to snow through the night, 2 to 3 inches by morning in Milwaukee. More northwest, less southeast with a low of 21. Monday, snow and wind with a high of 26. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 23. Wednesday, a chance of a few snow showers in the morning and a high of 38. And Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 45. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 35 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
And a very good Sunday morning to you. And it is the day we've been waiting for all week. We've heard about it. It was coming, the weather. And is it here? Do we need to worry? Well, joining us is TMJ4 meteorologist Michael Fish. And Fish, I know you've been watching this. It seems like forever. But we've got winter weather advisories in a lot of counties. We've got a winter storm warning that's going into effect later on today. Break it down for us. What do we need to be concerned about?
Yeah. So I was without power for like 24 hours. So I went to work yesterday in the dark, and I have to come in to just a mess in the weather. I mean, I heard your coworker trying to read that forecast. I'm like, good luck. You're going to be on for like 4 minutes with that thing. I had fun typing it up. Okay, so there was this little wintry mix going north this morning. And actually, I just went down Fond du Lac Ave 145, where it turns into the freeway. And there are still bridges and overpasses out there that are like, they're pretty icy. So
Really?
If you're out and about here early this morning, be aware of that. I watched the Tower Cam in Green Bay. They're getting pummeled with snow right now. That's really neat. Okay, so there's this lull here in a lot of southeast Wisconsin, but that's going to be changing today. More showers, even a couple thunderstorms rolling their way back on in as we head towards like late morning. That's going to be on and off through the afternoon into the evening. And then eventually, and actually it looks like Milwaukee, we make it up to like 51, colder to the north and west. And then temperatures plummet tonight as we change back over to snow late tonight and overnight. So it's overnight and tomorrow morning. That's going to be our main round of snow. And I have by the morning hours, like Milwaukee, you're probably going to wake up to like 2 to 3 inches on the ground and it will be snowing. Racine, Kenosha, you'll probably wake up with like 1 to 2 inches on the ground and more to the north and west. And then it's going to start to taper off as Monday goes on, and it's going to be really windy out there. Not like Friday's wind, but still like 35 to 45 mile an hour wind gusts out of the northwest on Monday, blowing and drifting that snow around. By the end of this, it looks like probably 3 to 5 inches for parts of Milwaukee County. Racine and Kenosha, 2 to 4 out of this. I have like 4 to up to 8 as you head to the north and west, and maybe Fond du Lac, Green Lake get on like 8 or more inches of snow.
Well, you had mentioned Green Bay. How much are they going to end up with? Because it sounds like they're the center of it all.
Yeah, like Green Bay and north of there, if you know Highway 29, that's probably going to be kind of the center axis of the heaviest of snow. I think they're like 18 to 24 inches of that, and possibly even more as you head towards like Wausau. They could be like 24 plus.
Oh my gosh. Here's what I'm wondering, because you're talking about temperatures this afternoon maybe get as high as 51. We had the winds on Friday. We've had the rain that turns to ice that now is going to be snow, but then it's going to get warm. How unusual is it for this time of year to have this kind of weather forecast? And I think you said something about thunderstorms even at one point. It seems like we're having everything all at once.
That's, what's weird is I look at some of the records around here, and also I remember working in the Green Bay market. I've seen some of our worst weather for winter-like weather in March and April. So, I mean, there was 2018 for me when I was working up in Green Bay. We had over 2 feet of snow in parts of our area in April.
Oh.
Yeah. I covered that. That's the spring in Wisconsin. I mean, this happens. This is where you get some of the big powerhouse storms because you have the battle of the warm air trying to work its way north, and then you still have cold air holding on in Canada, and we're in the battleground right in between, and you get these big low pressure systems, and that's what we're dealing with. And again, it could be worse as snowfall is concerned, because I mean, look at where I was talking about. Green Bay, Highway 29 areas just north of there could be measuring snow in feet, not us.
Which is just amazing to me that we're talking about this much snow at this time of year, especially when we were experiencing summer-like temperatures not even a week ago.
I know, and that's the frustrating part about March and even parts of April. It's like, oh my gosh, it's awesome out, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, that's not cool.
All right, so here's the question. This is all going to end by what? Late tomorrow? Will the snow be gone?
It's going to end from southwest to northeast. Like Milwaukee, it starts winding down, I think like late morning, early afternoon. Then our northern counties, mid to late afternoon. So, yeah, tomorrow you're going to notice like kind of a tapering trend as the day goes on. By tomorrow night, it's out of here. It's going to be cold. Tomorrow night, it's going to be 8.
Did you say a single digit? A single digit. We're back to single digits. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing. Everyone hang in there, because by like Thursday, especially Friday, we've got 50s back in the forecast.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I know. Good old Wisconsin.
Oh, fish. All right. So the biggest thing we need to worry about, at least at this moment, is some of those icy elements on bridges and overpasses in the area.
Yeah.
So if you're out driving this morning, be really cautious about that.
Yeah. I was driving. I'm like, oh, there's a cop sitting on the side of the road. I wonder. And then I'm like, whoa, he's trying to warn us all that this bridge is like completely ice. So I was we are dealing with that out there.
So I'm going to ask you a personal question. You said you have been without power for 24 hours?
No, it's back. But yesterday,
good.
I mean, it was out from noon Friday until like noon yesterday.
Oh.
And that's where you really appreciate when the power comes back on. You're like, oh my gosh, this is such a luxury to have this thing you called power.
Did you have to throw out anything in the freezer? That's always my biggest problem when we lose power.
So I have a little secret. I have a portable generator, and I hook those babies up to the portable generator. So we did not lose any food, but I had a couple lights on. I got my Spectrum back, luckily, and we crept through it. I took a cold shower, but we made it. I'm still here.
Oh, well, okay. Everybody needs a cold shower every once in a while. Fish, thank you so much for breaking this all down for us, and hopefully everybody's going to be safe. And if you don't have to go out tonight, especially if you're north, I would just stay home and watch the Oscars.
That's a good idea. A couple cocktails, you're all good.
Michael Fish, TMJ4 meteorologist. Thanks so much for joining us today.
All right. See you, Libby.
Have a great Sunday. It is 8:15 on WTMJ, and we've got a busy show ahead. You know, Fish just mentioned losing power. Well, a lot of people experience that, and Fish also mentioned about that portable generator. But the interesting thing is there are safety things that you need to watch out for if you have one of those portable generators. And with these storms here in the next 36 hours, a lot of us are going to be using it. We've got some warnings for you. We're going to be joined by somebody who's going to give us some advice a little bit later on this morning. Also, we're going to be talking with a Marine vet who's looking for volunteers. We'll tell you why. Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal is going to join us. And there's a new festival that's coming to Milwaukee. A lot of people are excited about that. Also, the Oscars, of course. Who else is going to tell us what her predictions are is Sandy Max from What's on Tap. Also, our consumer expert will be here. She's going to warn about, did you ever get those texts? Isaac, I'm sure you do, saying you can make $150 an hour at home by doing almost nothing. Yeah, well, maybe you don't want to respond to that, and she'll tell you why. Also, WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga is here. She's addressing the problems that we have with headlights on the road. We'll take a look back at the week in review. Nazir's in this newsroom. Isaac's here pushing those buttons. And coming up in just 2 minutes, we're going to hear from Eric Bilstead with another everyday hero, where you heard about that weather. And yes, we are on weather alert today. We will be telling you throughout the morning about those advisories and those warnings and what you need to be concerned about. But right now, as you're waking up in Wisconsin, that temperature is 37 degrees at 8:17 on WTMJ.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
So if you're looking to install a new glass shower door, you're going to want to see selection. The more you see, the better choice you can make. And that's why our store is loaded with 20 different glass shower door options. And what sets Less's Glass apart is that you're going to have somebody close by for help who's been here for years and years to ask them questions and get reliable answers. Now, no one's going to be hounding you, but when you need an answer, you're not going to have to search around. One thing you can count on at Less's Glass is that there will always be a member of our staff here with decades of experience. And that matters, because how many times have you been at the big box home improvement store, walking around trying to find someone who can actually answer your questions? This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
We're under a winter weather advisory for Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties until 4 this afternoon. That's until 10 o'clock this morning for Washington and Ozaukee counties. Then we've got a winter weather advisory going into effect 10 o'clock tonight for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaukee counties, and that's going to last until 4 o'clock tomorrow, and that winter storm warning goes into effect mainly this evening for Jefferson, Washington, Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties, and that lasts again until tomorrow afternoon at 4. We will keep you informed if anything changes, but just get your snow plans in order. It's 8:20, and it's time to recognize another everyday hero. Here's WTMJ's Eric Bilstead.
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's Morning News identifies an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today, we stay right here in Milwaukee. Noah Nitka, 5th grader at Ralph Waldo Emerson School, and he was honored this week for saving his family from a house fire earlier this year. Noah had discovered a fire in his room in the middle of the night. First, he yelled fire multiple times to make sure everyone heard him. Then he ran to his sister's room, checked the door for heat before entering and getting her out to safety. How did he know what to do?
I guess just muscle memory.
And where did you learn that muscle memory?
Survive Alive House, thankfully.
The Survive Alive House, a Milwaukee fire education center. His class had visited it.
Because of the lessons Noah learned at the Survive Alive House, he knew exactly what to do.
Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky.
His quick thinking and awareness helped alert the rest of his family, allowing everybody to get out safe.
The visit to the education center really left an impression on Noah, according to his mother, who spoke with TMJ4 News and other reporters.
He talked about it a lot when he went on the field trip, and it seemed like they keep it fun while also teaching them something super important.
Thanks to that field trip, Noah knew exactly what to do.
I just try to stay calm to not act crazy and make it harder for them. Try not to scare my sister too crazily.
Thank you, Noah Nitka, for paying attention, listening, and saving your family's life. You are an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
When severe winter weather hits, you can count on Menards. We have a wide selection of products to help you get ready for the snow. Save on snowblowers, shovels, ice melt, and even generators for emergencies. Don't forget about your vehicle. Menards has ice scrapers, windshield de-icer, jumper cables, and more to keep you safe on the road, all at the lowest prices. Winter weather can get challenging, but you can always rely on Menards to keep you prepared and save you big money.
Save big money at Menards.
This summer, don't just work, log off, and become the guy behind the adventure. More laughs, less scrolling. Do summer different at Peak Initiative. We're hiring camp counselors, leaders, swim instructors, and more for our day camp in Milwaukee and over camp in Boscobel, Wisconsin. Earn $650 a week starting pay, plus housing and meals at Lake Valley Camp. Make memories, make an impact. Make this summer count. Apply today at peakinitiative.org/join our team. The Peak Initiative. Do summer different.
Well, as we're concerned about the weather this morning, we are joined by Tim Gibbons. He is the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And I guess there's some weather business news this week, and that was meteorologist Lindsay Slater leaving Channel 12 rather unexpectedly. Tim, what can you tell us about that story?
Yeah, this has been a story that a lot of people are interested in. Lindsay, obviously, longtime fixture in the local media ecosystem, and somebody who has a lot of fans out there. There's limits to how much she can talk about exactly why she and the station parted ways. She has talked about the fact in a conversation with our business and media reporter that it was not due to political statements, mentioning that specifically because of the situation last year with Sam Kuffel, who left after there was pushback on something that she posted on her private social media accounts. But not the case with Lindsay Slater. The news that we broke last week was that she is actively trying to stay involved in meteorology. She has a non-compete agreement with the station, which is typical in television news, and she's hired a lawyer who is looking to work around that because she wants to be doing meteorology, and based on the people that we talk to, a lot of people want her to be doing that as well.
And we certainly wish her well, because I think a lot of people like her and enjoy her weather forecast. All right, let's move on to business. There's a couple of big stories centering around the Deer District. Let's look first at a hotel, Tim.
Yeah, so this is a project that we've talked about for a while under the name as Moxie Hotel. That was the brand it was going to be. The news that came out on Friday was it's going to be up-branded as an AC Hotel by Marriott. It's basically similar number of rooms, obviously the same site, but it's going to be a different brand and a different price point than the Moxie was going to be.
All right, now there's also a housing project that they're looking at in the same area.
Yeah, so this is something that actually dates back for a while. The hope had been to break ground on the project last year. It's called Fieldhouse Flats. It's about 269 apartment units. One of the reasons why it's taken a little bit longer to break ground is it has shifted from market rate apartments to affordable housing apartments. With that change comes with it just more paperwork, longer timeline for getting financing assembled, things like that. So they are looking to break ground by the end of March to get that project moving. And a lot of people are excited about it. There definitely is a need for affordable housing in the city of Milwaukee.
Well, we're looking at real estate. Commercial real estate brokers are buzzing about a Menominee Falls warehouse. It sold in only 10 days. Why is that such a big story, Tim?
Yeah, so the individual warehouse itself, sort of like $1.5 million, so not the biggest deal from a money standpoint. But as you said, 10 days, that gets snapped up pretty quickly. It's a sign of how tight the industrial real estate market is in the area, particularly in Waukesha County where that warehouse is. So across the nation, pretty much after COVID, where everybody leaned into e-commerce and getting stuff shipped to them, there was an explosion in the need for industrial real estate. And that has really ramped up here locally, particularly in Waukesha County. The vacancy rate for warehouses in that county dropped below 2% toward the end of 2021 and has been below that since then, just showing how much of a need there is for this property class.
We are talking with Tim Gibbons. He's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And Tim, I know you don't like to shop, but I do. And, I go into the dollar store and I can't even find anything for $1 anymore. But Kohl's is kind of looking at a new concept, and that's promising to stock some items for $10 or less. Now, that sounds like a bargain. So what's all that about?
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're hoping people will say. So this is part of the retailer's strategy under their new CEO of really trying to lean into this idea of attracting customers who are looking for a bargain. So last year they rolled out impulse buy aisles in all of their checkout lines, with the idea being that you get that kind of marginal next dollar. Somebody's there doing their shopping for whatever, and as they're checking out, they're going to pick up a couple dollars more worth of things. The new thing is rolling out what they're calling deal bars and impulse toy towers, both of which, as you've said, are going to have all the products priced under $10. So the idea is that you're there buying a jacket or whatever, and you pick up a toy or you do another impulse buy, or you're looking for cheaper items, so you go there to get something under $10, and maybe you buy a shirt while you're there. So it's going to be interesting to see how the strategy plays out. One of the challenges that Kohl's is facing is a little bit betwixt and between when it comes to where it's positioned in the marketplace. So it's not looking to be, nor is it a true discount retailer, but it's not necessarily the higher end sort of shopping experience either. So the question is, can it bring in higher end shoppers and sell them stuff at a lower price point? Can that lower price point bring in people who can stretch a little bit and, buy more than they would at a discount store? Or does it end up being just kind of stuck in the middle?
So are they going to place this around the store, or is this going to be these under $10 items? Are they going to be placed near the cash register as a point of purchase while people are standing in line and make those impulse purchases?
Yeah, they're going to be around the store, and they're going to probably be positioned somewhat differently depending on what time of the year. So there is a focus on Easter and Mother's Day, which are big shopping times if you look at Kohl's, when their revenue hits. The idea is that seasonal merchandise is kind of put a little more in your face rather than you having to go and hunt for it.
All right, and finally, Tim, you've been here long enough. Milwaukee loves our festivals, and they've just announced a new one, and this one I'm kind of excited about. It's called the Freshwater Food and Wine Festival. When is this taking place and where? Because I want to be there.
I figured once you hit wine, it was like, okay, yeah, Libby's going to be there. So it's going to be September 19th
oh, stop.
and 20th. It's going to be September 19th and 20th at Henry Meyer Festival Park. Clearly this was somebody who was looking around the area. Wes Schaefer is the brain behind this, who looked and was like, Milwaukee likes food, it likes wine, it likes festivals. Let's stick them all together. What's interesting is the news that we put out this week. They're starting to announce the lineup, and there's some big names from the local restaurant industry, places like Carnivore. There's incubator-level restaurants like those operating at 3rd Street Market Hall who are kind of smaller but are bringing interesting things to the marketplace. They're looking at having some of the celebrity chefs. Milwaukee has a really strong history of appearing on cooking shows. They're going to have some of those there. So it really is going to be a very locally flavored, pun not intended, version of a festival that shows off the best of what the area has to offer.
Well, that one sounds like fun. And like you said, we maybe should be looking for some big names to appear?
Yes, that has not been released yet, but it definitely is looking to build on this idea of food and wine. But there is going to be live music and programming. There's going to be the Aurora Pavilion will be the festival's main stage. So it's going to have live demonstrations and other things that really ramp up the excitement level.
All right. Well, Tim, we're looking for good weather where we can actually enjoy some of those festivals. But until then, let's try to stay warm and inside, huh?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
You've seen us around town, volunteering, supporting events, and showing up where it matters. At Waterstone Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. The money you deposit stays local, helping small businesses, creating jobs, and supporting home ownership. It's banking from the community for the community. Visit your local branch or WSBOnline.com to see how we're building a stronger southeastern Wisconsin, one neighbor at a time. Waterstone Bank, member FDIC.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
You bid, they benefit. It's that simple. WTMJ's Kristen Bry here to tell you that WTMJ is hosting a silent auction for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. And the auction is live now. Bid now at WTMJcares.com. Bid on game-worn Giannis gear, a signed bat from Brewers slugger Andrew Vaughn, and a golf foursome at Morningstar Golf Club. You score something amazing, local families get the diapers they desperately need. Auction closes Friday. Bid now at WTMJcares.com.
And we're coming up to 8:33, and we've got Nightseer Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And in addition to the weather, you've got an inmate on the run, Nightseer. Tell us where it is.
Yes, thank you, Libby. A Dodge County inmate is on the run after failing to return to jail from work release on Saturday. Officials say Anthony J. Johnson left the Dodge County Jail around 7 o'clock Saturday morning under Huber privileges to go to work in Oakfield. Investigators say he reported to work, but left the job site later in the afternoon in a blue 2002 Chevy Trailblazer with Wisconsin plates ASD 9787. The vehicle was last seen by a license plate reader in Fond du Lac around 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Authorities say Johnson has ties to Mayville and Fond du Lac areas. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. No major issues, just a few disabled vehicles along I-41 in the Racine and Kenosha area. Otherwise, looking pretty clear in our area down here in the southeast Milwaukee area. If you're heading up north and northwest, just be careful going up that way as the weather is taking a toll on the roads up in that area. Otherwise, looking pretty clear in our area.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Here's your WTMJ forecast. Today, windy with occasional showers and possibly storms, some mixed north with a high of 51, though cooler up in the area. Winter weather advisory for Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties until 4 p.m. this afternoon and 10 a.m. this morning for Washington and Ozaki. Winter weather advisory goes into effect at 10 p.m. tonight for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaki counties until 4 p.m. on Monday. And tonight, very windy with rain or storms changing to snow through the night, 2 to 3 inches by morning in Milwaukee. More northwest, less southeast with the low up to 21. Right now, Milwaukee, it is 36 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:35.
Thanks a lot, Nazir. And it does appear that weather is a changing situation, that now they're moving that freezing line from about West Bend to Watertown and Richland Center. And they're saying that there's going to be some heavy sleet and some freezing rain in areas north and west of Madison, and that means it is not a good time to be hitting the roads in these areas. We're going to see a lot of rain in this area, and we might even get some hail. It's just a changing weather situation, and we will stay on top of it. But again, all that's really going to get underway here in the next couple of hours. So it's a good day to stay home if you don't have to go anywhere. In just a couple minutes, we've got the Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
We know for small business advertisers, every dollar counts. And that's why you hear our advertisers over and over on this station, as well as every other Milwaukee radio station. Because the power of repetition is real. Go to the Our Clients page of Anderson-Smith.com and see just how many you're familiar with. And check out their real advertising success stories. You'll learn why our clients stay with us for years and years. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We know you work hard to make your small business the best it can be. And we understand you deserve to have your advertising work as hard as you do. That's why we focus on only the most efficient ways to assure your ad message makes the most impact it possibly can. With millions of dollars in annual billing and dozens of satisfied clients, Anderson Smith has the leverage and know-how to amplify your advertising. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grow your business.
Hey, John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Quite simply the best in the business. You got a shoulder that's not feeling great. Maybe it's an ankle or a knee. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin and their top-tier doctors can get you feeling how you deserve to feel. My wife, Michelle, had a back issue. OHOW put her in a great place. She's on the mend. She's feeling better. She's doing all the things that she wants to do. Start at the website, ohow.com, ohow.com. Request an appointment. Start your journey to feeling better with the best. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
The only place to get this.
Bucks have lost now 3 consecutive games, and for the second time this year, are now 11 games under 500.
With some of this.
If I would have told you, hey, they're going to be fully healthy to start the season, and then they're not healthy again until mid-March, it should come as no surprise that they are where they are in the standings. At the same token, injury should not be an excuse.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. Well, those gas prices are soaring. Packers are doing a lot of free agency moves, and Julia Fella goes to Washington. There was a lot more, too. It's the Weekend Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Pull-up jumper from Gary Trent knocks it down. 122 to 86. 122 to 86. What?
Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselli is proposing the elimination of more than 260 jobs. Certain positions would be protected from the cuts, including classroom teachers, counselors, social workers, psychologists, and nurses. So who's left?
Good question.
All right, Dave, did you fill up your tank last night before the workday started?
I didn't. But up 50 cents, that is no bueno. With oil prices spiking, is it temporary and reversible? That's the question.
The National Weather Service says we did it, Greg. We did it.
70?
Hit 70.
Oh, my goodness. There you go.
Because it is Wisconsin. Tomorrow, our high temp is 46.
Let's just focus on the here and now.
After a whirlwind trip to Cairo in what was supposed to be a 2-week trek.
2 days in Egypt. 2 days.
Steve Scafidi is home.
I asked Saturday when all the, what was going down with Iran, do you want us to go to Egypt?
You were like,
could we postpone it? They said no.
They said no.
So they said if you don't go, you're not getting your money back.
Absolutely.
Brad Schimmel will not continue as U.S. Attorney in Milwaukee. Federal judges in the Eastern District of Wisconsin have declined to permanently name Schimmel as a top prosecutor for the district. That means his interim term should be ramping up in just a few days here.
Telly, this is a good move for the Packers. We should celebrate this move.
You think?
Yes. Romeo Doubs is going to be like the 28th highest paid receiver in the league.
And he's only had, and I was looking at some of those numbers too, he's only had 2 100-yard receiving games.
He's a bum.
Vince is heading to New York, and hopefully he makes it.
Just since this latest DHS shutdown, TSA officers have been calling out sick by a rate of more than double nationwide.
Oh, and by the way, there are gas prices ticking up
by the
just
way,
a
it's
bit.
spring break time, too, so, the airports won't be busy at all.
The Department of Justice has been working on a case against Live Nation and Ticketmaster, and it could have broken up the ticketing and entertainment monopoly. Instead, this current iteration basically has let them off the hook. Oh, look at that. We settled.
President Trump is weighing in on the invasive, nasty fish.
Why don't you share more about how you feel about Asian carp? The president has called upon all Great Lakes state governors, including Wisconsin, to join this fight.
Holy mackerel, folks.
The Packers yesterday posted a thank you Nate Hobbs note on their social media. And David Bakhtiari retweeted it with the word for.
A lot of people that may have paid attention to you at the end of your career can say, well, what did you do after you got paid?
Well, 2 people have been hurt after a shooting at Old Dominion University, according to school officials. The gunman also killed.
We weren't sure what was happening, and then we started seeing the cops pull up. The people I was with, we went to the library.
University officials confirmed the shooter had been neutralized.
This is a special report from ABC News. In Michigan, the suspect who rammed a vehicle into the Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield Township is believed to be dead after a shootout with security. There are no injuries reported yet at the synagogue.
I'll be telling you about my trip that I'm about to take in Washington, D.C. with my husband. I urge lawmakers to prioritize research and funding for Parkinson's disease. And it's thanks to John and Wisconsin's Afternoon News that I'm able to do this and able to share this story. This is something that I would never be able to do on television.
The Wisconsin Badgers may arguably have one of the best backcourts in the country and slid past Washington 85-82, setting up a quarterfinals date against Illinois at the Big Ten tournament.
I'm just excited to see how we compete.
What a week, eh? What a week.
One side it was cold.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
And that is the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. You want to hear it again? Text the word week to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620. It's 8:42. We have 37 degrees. We are keeping an eye on weather. Those snow totals are not so bad the closer you are to Milwaukee and the Racine and Kenosha areas. But the further you go west and north, you're going to see more. But the best plan right now is to keep an eye on the weather because we are under a winter weather advisory for Sheboygan, Dodge, Fond du Lac counties until 4 this afternoon. That expires at 10 o'clock this morning for Washington and Ozaukee counties. But then that winter weather advisory is going into effect at 10 o'clock tonight. That's for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaukee counties. It will last all day tomorrow into 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the winter storm warning is going into effect this evening. That's for Jefferson, Washington, Sheboygan, Dodge, Fond du Lac counties. And again, that remains in place until 4 tomorrow afternoon. If you can possibly put off traveling, it might be a good idea. As TMJ4 meteorologist Michael Fish put it to us this morning, there are still a lot of very slick overpasses in the area, and you will want to drive with caution if you're out there because of that freezing rain overnight. So just take it easy today. If you don't have to go anywhere today, it's a good day and a good night to stay home. Coming up next, we've got Michelle Reinen from DATCAP. She's going to warn you if you're getting those texts about jobs that seem too good to be true, guess what? They probably are. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Healthy Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Fleet Farm invites you to gear up for spring with early season savings in-store and online. Stop in and stock up on deals like 50 pounds of Sprout cracked corn, just $9.49 a bag. 24 packs of Fleet Farm bottled water are 2 for $5. And save 30% on men's and ladies' work gloves for all your outdoor chores. Visit your local Fleet Farm for these deals and more. And be sure to check out our live chicks in store with select breeds available now. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Well, there are a lot of people out there who are looking for employment, but you know what? You better be careful because there are people out to scam you even when you're looking for work. And joining us on our WTMJ hotline is Michelle Reinen, our consumer expert from DATCAP. And what are you hearing about some employment scams, Michelle?
Well, we know that there are a number of platforms out there to help people search for jobs and have companies post those jobs, but scammers take advantage and they don't follow the rules on those platforms. And so we are hearing from consumers who have been scammed out of money and personal information as a result of searching for jobs and thinking they've found that new position.
Yeah, I've gotten some of those texts that tell me I only have to work 2 hours a week and I can get $1,000 for that. I take it that's a red flag.
It absolutely is. We see a number of red flags. Often the jobs are for online or remote work. They also may be for simple jobs or highly specialized work, flexible hours, surprisingly good benefits, or unusually high pay. And then the employer often asks for sensitive information like that social security number through unsecure communications like a text message. And the biggest red flag is when you get that new job and then you're asked to purchase all sorts of equipment to set up your home office like a laptop, printer, and other gear, and you're given a check to do that. But you're pointed to a very specific vendor in order to purchase those supplies. And it turns out that vendor is part of the whole scam. You buy those supplies, you never get them, the check bounces, and you've spent your own money.
All right, so what do we need to look for? Are there legitimate job openings out there for people to do online work, or should we just be suspicious of all of them?
There's absolutely legitimate jobs out there, but we need to practice due diligence even when using these legitimate job-seeking platforms because those scammers, they just lie. So research the employer. Be sure that you are checking them out on their own website, but also using the words review, scam, and complaint when doing online research. And avoid high-pressure tactics. Scammers want consumers to act quickly, and we need to take our time, pause, and do that research.
All right. So if you think you might be scammed, if you see some of these red flags, if you are looking for employment, who do we call?
Contact DADCAP's Consumer Protection Hotline at 800-422-7128.
It's 37 degrees at 8:48. We'll have your forecast right after this on WTMJ.
So, Dad, what gives with the square pizzas?
Well, Marty wanted to be different, but little did he know that he was giving everyone a real value. We figured it out. Our 12-inch square pizza covers 27% more space than a 12-inch round.
A bigger pizza and a better value.
Yep, 27% more.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Remember Marty's Pizza. Do you remember?
looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Quick look at the weather. We're expecting it to be windy, occasional showers, and maybe a thunderstorm with some mix in our north areas. The weird thing is we're going to hit 51 for a high around Milwaukee today, but then things are going to drop. Now, keep in mind, there's a winter weather advisory right now for Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties, also for Washington and Ozaukee counties. Washington and Ozaukee's yours expires at 10 a.m., the other areas at 4 o'clock this afternoon. But then we've got another winter weather advisory that's going into effect at 10 o'clock tonight for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaukee counties, as well as a winter storm warning that goes into effect this evening for Jefferson, Washington, Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties. These all expire at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But in the meantime, tonight, it's going to be windy, rain, maybe even a thunderstorm that's going to change to snow throughout the night. About 2 to 3 inches of snow by morning in Milwaukee, more to the northwest, less to the southeast. Then tomorrow, we've got snow and wind throughout the day. 3 to 5 inches of total snow in Milwaukee, 6 to 12 inches in the northwest with a high of 26. Finally comes down on Tuesday when it's partly cloudy and our high is 23. But then by the end of the week, we are back into a near 50-degree temperature by Thursday, Friday. So keep that in mind. 38 is your temperature right now. It feels like 19 degrees at WTMJ.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your car can't express its gratitude when you get an oil change. But the people you're helping will sure appreciate it, because when you visit an Adam member new car dealer through May 16th, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. To date, Adam has donated more than $960,000, providing 2.8 million meals. To find a participating Adam dealer near you, visit adamm.com. And thank you.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Milwaukee Common Council pushing more provisions of its Ice Out MKE legislative package forward.
Eric Billstad.
The Milwaukee Police Department does have a new audit system in place for its flock camera license plate database.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
The ramp to get onto 4394 northbound is closed because of a crash.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, tonight's the kind of night that it looks like you might want to stay inside and watch some TV. So what else would you watch? It is the Oscars, and here to talk about is Sandy Max from What's on Tap. And Sandy, I know you're excited about the Oscars. I know my favorite part is watching that red carpet and seeing what everybody's wearing.
Oh, dress to impress, you know. Sometimes it's Hollywood glamour. Sometimes I get the impression that the lower the neckline, the happier a whole lot of people are. Like, women have no shame anymore. Get that Hollywood tape. I guess that's why it's called Hollywood tape. Get that two-sided tape. So, and it is interesting to see that the men now, you know, used to just be straightforward tuxedos. I do like the different, like, monochromatic colors. Like, maybe you'll see somebody in all burgundy or all lime green. You know, I like that there is more expression with the red carpet wardrobe. And I'm going to wager, let's wager this one. Shirt or no shirt for Timothée Chalamet? I think he shows up in, like, a jacket with no shirt.
What?
Why not?
Hey, you mentioned Timothée Chalamet, but he may have stuck his foot in his mouth because it looked like he was definitely in the lead for that Actor category, but he said some things about ballet and opera that may have influenced some voters.
For as incredible of an actor as he is and transports himself into every role he does, whether it's Marty Supreme or Bob Dylan recently, man, is he coming across really, really arrogant. So for him to insult other art forms as if they are, quote, dead, like the ballet and the opera, yeah, that has not landed well with a lot of people. So he does not seem to be as beloved, but did he say those things in enough time after the voting happened? You know, will he still ride in? I can tell you that the odds makers are picking him to not win for Best Actor, but they're picking Michael B. Jordan from Sinners. Ooh. Which would be cool because he plays two
one
roles.
Of those movies. Yeah, well, that movie Sinners is kind of interesting because that was sort of a sleeper to begin with, but it's really gained momentum over the last month or so.
Well, interesting. I don't think I'd call it a sleeper. I call it like more of a pop culture hit, a vampire movie with music that was big at the box office and is more of those mainstream film than darling of all the films that are nominated. And Sinners broke a record, 16 nominations. But another kind of big blockbuster film is One Battle After Another that got 13 nominations. And so between One Battle After Another and Sinners, each of those films are expected to win several awards based on the wagering right now.
Well, you know, another thing that I think is interesting, and that is that the host is Conan O'Brien.
Second year in a row.
Yeah, but the last thing that got a lot of press that he was connected with is it was his holiday party that Rob Reiner and his wife attended just hours before they were murdered by their son. How did they get around that? Because obviously Rob Reiner is going to be honored in some way at the Oscars, but the Conan O'Brien connection is kind of interesting, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely. And, you know, you realize, well, how well connected Conan O'Brien is then in Hollywood when he's throwing parties and these are the people who come. I mean, there won't be any jokes about it. I certainly wouldn't think. And there will be a Rob Reiner tribute. And you talked about Timothée Chalamet getting in the headlines because he's saying arrogant things. Corey Feldman has popped up and been not happy that he's supposedly not part of the Rob Reiner tribute because Corey Feldman was in Stand By Me, one of those really formative films for Rob Reiner's career and also for Corey Feldman. So there will definitely be a Rob Reiner tribute. I don't see how you can't, considering his legacy of filmmaking. But I would think that this is one of those occasions where Conan's just going to be fun and full of surprises like he always is. And I don't see that very odd circumstance of him hosting the party where Rob Reiner spent his last evening and his wife together and the son being all there at that party. As unusual of a situation as that is, I don't see it overshadowing the Super Bowl of film on Sunday night.
We're talking with Sandy Max from What's on Tap about tonight's Oscars. All right, got to ask you, Wisconsin connections, are there any for tonight's ceremony?
Yes, there are 3 that I could share with you. First and foremost, Claire Sardina, Thunder of Lightning and Thunder, being portrayed by Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. Kate Hudson has been nominated in so many of these awards, but hasn't won yet. And I think pretty much everybody thinks that Jessie Buckley from Hamnet is going to win. But there are a lot of people who still in that Hollywood world root for Kate Hudson. They loved her in Almost Famous the last time she was nominated 25 years ago, and she put on a great performance as a singer and really capturing the Midwestern vibe as Claire Sardina. So a lot of people rooting for Kate Hudson to win, even though she might not.
Do you think she'd walk the red carpet with Claire Sardina?
I have asked Claire if she's going to the Oscars, and unfortunately, it didn't come together. Everybody was crossing their fingers that maybe the movie company would send her out, but she will not be attending the awards in person, which I think is such a loss to make magic, to make memories, and really have Kate and Claire side by side, hammering home that Song Sung Blue film is based on a true, sweet story about romance and chasing your dreams.
Boy, you'd think they could have afforded the plane ticket and a hotel. All right, now,
well, maybe we should.
Any other Wisconsin connections to tonight's ceremony?
Amy Madigan, who you might be surprised, went to Marquette University and has a philosophy degree from there. And she played Aunt Gladys in Weapons, and she has won several awards so far for Best Supporting Actress, and she is truly a contender in the Oscars. It could be, I've been doing some research, it's going to be seemingly a coin flip, either Amy Madigan from Weapons or Tiana Taylor from One Battle After Another. But there's a lot of support for Amy Madigan, she's beloved in the film industry. She's been acting for decades now and married to Ed Harris. So there's a lot of possibility that the voters of the Academy could say, this is Amy Madigan's time. Let's see her win. And for a horror movie, which is even more peculiar.
And is there one more that you can share with us as far as a Wisconsin connection, Sandy?
Oh, you know I love the Wisconsin pride. A UW Oshkosh alum. He grew up in Wisconsin. His name is Michael Bauman. He grew up in Wisconsin. He's a cinematographer, and he worked on One Battle After Another. So if that movie wins Best Cinematography, you get to applaud that Michael Bauman from Wisconsin got a gold statue. And he also is working on the Monsters series focused on Ed Gein. So he's got a few Wisconsin connections there. But yeah, so we've got three: Kate Hudson, Amy Madigan, and cinematography for One Battle After Another. Cheer for those categories tonight.
And we will be watching. And Sandy, you're going to be on What's on Tap this week. And what do you have lined up?
Where in the world? It's a dance performance coming up next weekend and a preview of Art in the Berg. Just a couple of things lined up for What's on Tap this week.
And we will be listening. Sandy Max, always great to have you here.
Thanks, Libby.
It's 9 o'clock, 37 degrees. When we get back, it's new at 9, and we're going to break down all that weather for you. Coming up next on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
In the Gospel of John, when Jesus healed the blind man, his disciples asked whose fault it was that he was born blind. They wanted someone to blame. But Jesus answered differently. He said the man was born blind so that the works of God might be made visible through him. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. This Lent, we're invited to ask ourselves, how can we allow God to work through us, to become instruments of his love and his will? It's Lent. Join us at Mass and let God's work be made visible in you.
Amy Simonson is the IT administrator with Professional Services Group. They had business technology from a not-so-supportive vendor. Not anymore. They switched to James Imaging Systems.
They come in as a partner. They want to help you. They want to make your business successful.
Including your James Imaging Systems sales representative.
He's always there when I need him. It's always like, what can I do to help you?
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner with great people and more value.
The value is we have the right equipment in the right place. We're getting reliable, consistent service when we need it.
Amy, your advice for other Wisconsin businesses?
I would definitely say contact James Imaging. They are very helpful and knowledgeable and will put you in the right place.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700, 262-781-7700, or visit jamesimaging.com.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it is 37 degrees here in Milwaukee. Today, windy with occasional showers and some storm mix north with a high of 51. And tonight, a low of 21. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nazir Spencer. Drivers across southeast Wisconsin could see icy bridges this morning and snow by Monday as a storm moves through the state. Rain and possible thunderstorms later Sunday are expected to turn back to snow overnight, bringing several inches by Monday morning. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Michael Fish tells WTMJ.
Overnight and tomorrow morning, that's going to be our main round of snow. And I have by the morning hours, like Milwaukee, you're probably going to wake up to like 2 to 3 inches on the ground and it will be snowing. Racine, Kenosha, you'll probably wake up with like 1 to 2 inches on the ground and more to the north and west.
Fish says some of the biggest travel concerns early are icy overpasses. Some good news for drivers on the I-94 project.
Wisconsin DOT's Eric Hansen says next week's west leg traffic shifts are happening sooner than they originally planned.
Initially, this traffic shift was scheduled to be performed the week of the 23rd, but crews did a great job battling through this winter, getting this work done early. So as long as nature cooperates next week, we are scheduled to do these shifts about a week ahead of time.
That same shift includes an access reopening.
The good news here is we will also be opening the General Mitchell ramps.
Drivers are urged to allow extra time through the work zone. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:04.
For a senior lifestyle where comfort meets community. Welcome to the Waters of Pewaukee. WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. I want you to enjoy beautiful, spacious apartments, chef-prepared meals, and enriching daily activities that bring you joy and purpose. Whether it's independent living, assisted care, or memory support, you will find compassionate staff, modern, beautiful amenities, and the peace of mind you deserve at the Waters of Pewaukee. You are not just moving in, you are coming home. Schedule a tour and learn more today at thewaters.com.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
So if you're looking to install a new glass shower door, you're going to want to see selection. The more you see, the better choice you can make. And that's why our store is loaded with 20 different glass shower door options. And what sets Les's Glass apart is that you're going to have somebody close by for help who's been here for years and years to ask them questions and get reliable answers. Now, no one's going to be hounding you, but when you need an answer, you're not going to have to search around. One thing you can count on at Les's Glass is that there will always be a member of our staff here with decades of experience. And that matters, because how many times have you been at the big box home improvement store, walking around trying to find someone who can actually answer your questions? This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks lost to the Hawks 122-99 on Saturday. They are back at it again today at 2 against the Pacers and here in Milwaukee. You can listen to the game right here on 620 WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. No major issues, just a few disabled vehicles heading down to the Racine and Kenosha area on I-41 South and I-94 North. Otherwise, looking pretty clear across our area. Just if you're heading up north, be mindful that the roads are very bad once you go north or northwest. And just be mindful on your commute this morning. Otherwise, looking pretty clear in our area.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Don't just upgrade, transform your home. From bold exteriors to breathtaking baths, Exterior Pros makes it happen. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Here's your WTMJ forecast today. Windy with occasional showers and possibly a storm with some mixed north with a high of 51, though cooler in the northern area. Tonight, very windy with rain or storms changing to snow through the night, 2 to 3 inches by morning in Milwaukee, more northwest and less southeast with a low of 21. Winter weather advisory for Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties until 4 p.m. this afternoon and 10 a.m. this morning for Washington and Ozaukee counties. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 37 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:08.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
I think what everybody's talking about is, do we need to be concerned about that snow or not? We've got Nazir Spencer here. We've got Isaac Marquardt here. We're going to take a look at what we're talking about. And we did talk with Michael Fish about an hour ago, and we'll get back to that in a minute. But Nazir, so right now, things are pretty quiet, right?
Yeah, pretty quiet on the roads at the moment. The snow's not hitting us at all, really, pretty much at all.
Although one of the things Fish did warn us about, and he said in his drive-in this morning, is there were still some of those overpasses and bridges that had ice on them, and you had to watch out. But as it's, well, you don't really have much sun right now. I mean, it's sort of trying to creep through the clouds, but some of that will burn off. But the interesting thing is we're going to have temperatures as high as 51 in the greater Milwaukee area later on this afternoon. But we're still talking about snow overnight.
Right, yes. We're talking about some snow overnight. We got some winter storm warnings that go into effect mainly this evening for Jefferson, Washington, and Sheboygan and Dodge and Fond du Lac counties, but still weather advisory for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaukee counties. Now, you mentioned those roads. I would recommend if you're driving on those roads, especially in the Milwaukee area, near the downtown area, that construction can get a little tight, and with the weather, it could get a little dangerous. So I would recommend driving as slow as possible in those areas especially.
Well, I know Vince and Eric and Debbie Lazaga will have it all in the morning during your drive to work, and you'll be able to, they'll keep an eye on it for you and warn you about what to do. But again, we're kind of in that storm preparation thing right now. But the thing is, if you're right on top of Milwaukee right now, we're not seeing much. But the further north and the further west you go, the more that's out there. And Isaac, your mom and dad live in Wausau.
Yes,
and
they do.
They sent you pictures already this morning.
Yes. If you check out our live stream, you text the word watch to 855-616-1620, you can see a picture of my parents' backyard this morning with about half of the snow that they are projected to get today.
Yeah, well, they've already got, about 6 inches, I think, and they're talking about another 12 or 13. But the place that's really getting hit right now is Green Bay. And Nazir, we're looking at huge snow in Green Bay.
I'm seeing a lot of, like you said, huge snow in Green Bay. The roads are very messy up there in that area, in the Schwabenau area, De Pere area. Green Bay overall is just very messy right now. And you look a little bit northwest, like you said, in kind of the Clark County and Jackson counties, those are really bad right now with the roads. There's a lot of closures in both of those areas. So if you're heading those, northwest way this morning, going back home from St. Patrick's Day parade or whatever, just be careful on the way up. They have a lot of snow on the ground and a lot of closures and a lot of disabled vehicles and people not moving in this snow. So just be careful going back home on your commute.
Well, I just have to share this. The snow total right now in Green Bay is like 7 inches in the last 6 hours.
Wow.
And they're still expecting another 19 to 23 inches of snow in the next 24 hours. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not in Green Bay. I'll tell you that. All right. So we did talk with Michael Fish about an hour ago, and here's what he had to say about our forecast.
So it's overnight and tomorrow morning. That's going to be our main round of snow. And I have by the morning hours, like Milwaukee, you're probably going to wake up to like 2 to 3 inches on the ground and it will be snowing. Racine, Kenosha, you'll probably wake up with like 1 to 2 inches on the ground and more to the north and west.
And that's what we're concerned about, is that winter weather advisory is going into effect at 10 o'clock tonight. That's for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaukee counties, as well as a winter storm warning for Jefferson, Washington, Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties. These are all in effect until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So again, it's tonight where the weather is really going to get interesting. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, you can hear Vince Vitrano and Eric Bilstead on Wisconsin Morning News, along with Debbie Lazaga, with traffic, and they will keep you apprised of everything you need to be concerned about on your drive to work tomorrow. Nazir, we'll hear from you again at 9:30. Isaac, of course, is still here with us. Thank you so much for being here this morning. It's 9:13. We have 38 degrees right now. Feels like it's about 19, so it's a little bit chilly. But again, by this afternoon, around Milwaukee, you're going to be hitting 51 degrees.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $14.98 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Academic Mortgages and Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickard, your potentate of lower rates. You've probably heard mortgage rates are at their lowest in 4 years. Acunet's helping a metric ton of our clients take advantage of this dip in rates while it lasts because there's no guarantee how long this window of opportunity will actually stay open. We'd like to help you consider your refi options too. Sure, you can call your current lender for a one-size-fits-all refi that probably comes with high closing costs and no real in-depth consultation. Or you can click on the blue button for a no-pressure, expertly crafted refi checkup. We'll help you compare all your options, including our genuine no-loan cost refi, which over half of our clients choose. What about a 28 or 29-year loan instead of going back to 30 years? And how much money should you bring to closing or get back instead? Your friendly Acunet loan consultant will lay out all your options side by side and help you make the right decision for you. Find out how much you can save by clicking on the blue button today at Acunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Well, we've come a long way from the old yellow halogen bulbs, and today's LED headlights can help you see hundreds of feet down the road. But here's the catch, and it's not the brightness, it's a problem. In this month's Driver's Ed with Debbie, we're talking headlights.
Have headlights gotten brighter, or are we all just squinting more behind the wheel? If you've ever felt like you're being interrogated by an SUV going 60 miles an hour,
Where were you on the night of August the 12th?
you're not alone. I asked Wisconsin State Trooper Anna Schopp if they're really seeing issues with headlight glare, or is it all in our heads?
The lights are getting brighter. It almost feels like people are just driving with their high beams on the entire time. And if they're not aligned properly, they are going to cause that glare that make you think you're just blinded for that short moment in time.
She says the lights are actually really good for visibility, and
the brighter lights are there for you to see the road better. It's that misalignment that's an issue if they are not properly pointed at the road.
So if you're thinking about upgrading your lights, be extra careful with the aftermarket installs.
Don't just trust the packaging that says it's DOT approved. Pay attention to what those headlights are actually meant for. Oftentimes it's for off-roading. And if you do get those headlights installed, get them at least professionally aligned.
And what about high beams?
Turn out those lights!
Well, Wisconsin law requires you to dim your brights within 500 feet of another vehicle.
They're supposed to go on when there's no other vehicles around and it's very dark, but they're also supposed to go back off when other vehicles are within range, especially within that 500 feet range, but that doesn't happen.
And that leads us to something else. Are we getting too comfy with the technology? I mean, it's really super handy, but
I think it's a great convenience and it's there to help you to be visible. So at least know how to override that automatic setting so that you can turn your lights on manually.
Because here's the biggest misconception drivers have about their automatic headlights or always-on headlights.
It's like, oh, I can see the road fine. I don't need to turn my lights on quite yet. And I think it's just important to remember just because the lights are good for you to see, they're also good for other people to see you.
And that brings us to the rule you hear me talk about every single rainy day.
So the good rule of thumb is anytime you use your windshield wipers, just make sure your headlights are on as well.
It's also the law. In any reduced visibility conditions, you are required to have your headlights on. Yes, even in the daytime. Now, if someone's headlights are blazing straight into your eyeballs, don't panic.
Reduce that speed and increase that following distance to the vehicle in front of you. Try to stay within that lane. Don't make any lane changes in that moment. It's a feeling in a moment that will pass.
Another handy idea is just while the other vehicle is passing you, look at the lane lines on the right side of the road to keep yourself straight. Headlights are one of the OG safety features on your vehicle. They're there to help you see, and just as importantly, to help others see you. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
See, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. I'm one of those people, Isaac, that keeps my headlights on all the time. You know, I'm the automatic thing on the car, so I don't have to remember to turn them on and off, which works out great if I'm the only person using my car. Now, my husband, don't tell anybody, when he uses my car, which isn't that frequently, he always turns the headlights off. the automatic part. So that means the next time I get into the car and I'm driving, I just assume my headlights are going to come on. But no, if he had the car, he turned them off. And I literally have been out there driving without my headlights for a moment until I realized, oh yeah, I know who drove the car last. So anyway, so just something to keep in mind. If your husband drives a car, just always check those headlights. All right, it is, at least in my house, it is 9:19. We've got 38 degrees. We're going to get up to 51, but then the snow starts. We'll tell you about it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Join the Brewers Series against the White Sox March 26th, 28th, and 29th. Grab this year's first giveaway on Saturday the 28th, a replica of American Family Field for the first 25,000 fans, courtesy of American Family Insurance. On the 29th, it's Kids Cheer Free. Buy an adult terrace seat and receive a free ticket for kids ages 14 and under. On Sunday the 29th, the first 5,000 kids get a drip necklace giveaway. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Aug Prep, faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Aug Prep North, made for more. Apply today at augprep.org.
Well, we've got that winter weather advisory right now in Sheboygan, Dodge, Fond du Lac County, also Washington, Ozaukee counties. Now, Washington, Ozaukee, yours ends at 10 o'clock this morning, but the others don't end until 4 this afternoon. Weather right around Milwaukee, not too bad today. It's going to be windy out there. We've got those occasional showers, maybe even a thunderstorm, and then our high is going to be 51. But when that temperature starts to drop, that's where we worry. And that is overnight when the winter weather advisory is going into effect for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaukee counties. Then there's a winter storm warning for Jefferson, Washington, Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties. All of this lasts until 4 tomorrow afternoon. That's what we're worried about. It is the overnight where it's going to be very windy with rain and thunderstorms that are going to change to snow throughout the night. By morning, we'll have about 2 to 3 inches of snow in Milwaukee. The further out you go, especially going northwest, the more snow you're going to have. If you go down towards Racine, Kenosha, not quite as much. Those wind gusts are going to be up to 40 miles per hour, though. And then tomorrow, snow and wind. Another 3 to 5 inches total for Milwaukee, and that's of snow. And then as you go to the northwest, anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow throughout tomorrow, with winds up to 45 miles per hour. Then it's going to be partly cloudy with only a high of 23 on Tuesday. So make sure you tune us in tomorrow morning bright and early with Vince and Eric, because they will break this all down for you, I should say, on your drive to work along with Debbie Lazaga. It's 9:22, 38 degrees at WTMJ.
The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to the Sunday Sip. I'm your host, Julia Fellow. Just west of I-43, the old Cardinal Stritch campus is transformed into a new school, and it's opening this summer. Enrollment is now open. Go to augprep.org. It is now the future home of St. Augustine Prep North Campus, and we have with us the Senior Director of Communications and Engagement, Crystal Flanoral. Crystal, welcome to the Sunday Sip.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm happy to be here.
So for all of our listeners who might not be familiar this Sunday, can you tell us a little bit about Aug Prep?
Absolutely. So Og Prep, our original South Campus, was founded in 2017 to address the urgent need of more good school options in Milwaukee, and our South Campus is on the south side of Milwaukee. And every year since then, Og Prep has either exceeded expectations or significantly exceeded expectations on the state of Wisconsin's Department of Public Instruction's report cards. And now we are so excited that we educate almost 2,400 students, K-4 through 12, at our South Campus, and it's the #1 K through 12 school in Milwaukee.
Wow.
We offer so many opportunities in athletics, arts, and extracurriculars, and the opportunities are so endless for students there. And now we are so excited to be building our second campus. Our North Campus is under construction at the former Cardinal Stritch site that you have just talked about in your intro, and is opening this summer. We're just so excited to get our children there.
I've seen the construction. So how is it going? Because the last time I was there, I saw the bones of it, but I knew what it was going to transform into for our families.
Isn't it exciting?
Yes.
We are building a state-of-the-art campus, a nearly $100 million investment. And the campus, Julia, I encourage you and your viewers to come and take a tour. It is such a beautiful campus for our students in the North Shore and the north side of Milwaukee. I can't even describe how beautiful it is. We're going to have exceptional athletic facilities, spaces for drama and the performing arts, science and STEM classrooms. Construction is on track, and it's really incredible to see the progress. Some areas are virtually complete, and some are almost complete. And we offer frequent tours. So if your viewers are interested just to kind of see what Og Prep North is building over there in the North Shore, please sign up for a tour. We would happily schedule them for a tour to see our new campus.
Go to ogprep.org, ogprep.org. So when I was getting a tour, I saw that you even had a dental office, and I saw the bones of it. Did that come to fruition?
Yes, we are so excited. We'll have dental services, and we'll also have an on-site clinic. We're really going to be specializing in the whole child. So isn't that amazing to get a quality and education of excellence and still have a dentist and a doctor on site for your child?
I love it. It's amazing. I wish I had that growing up.
Right.
So beyond all this construction, how are things going? Are families interested?
Families are so interested. We are seeing an incredible response from the community. In our first year, we'll have about 300 students in grades K-4 through 6, as well as ninth grade. And we have over 200 completed applications and over 400 more in progress.
Whoa.
Right. And we still have seats available. So if you are interested in Og Prep is going to be a school for everyone. So still continue to apply, but we're really excited to see the range of applicants, Julia. We have students coming from 33 zip codes.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Yes.
And it just shows the testament of the great work that Og Prep is doing and the huge interest from our community and families that want to come to this school. And we're just so passionate of creating a culture that brings students together from a variety of backgrounds. We believe students will have all diverse backgrounds, and they're going to be better friends, teammates, leaders. They're going to work around people that are different from them, but have a sense of inclusivity and belonging and love each other.
I love that. How about the teachers? There is a shortage right now.
There is a shortage, but we're proud that we've received over 500 applicants. And being a part of the founding team, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We are still hiring, and we're still taking applicants. We're taking teachers, of course, but some roles are great for professionals with a specific skill set, and they have a passion for kids and a passion for Jesus. For example, we're looking for computer science teachers and Spanish teachers. So if this interests your viewers, come on our website and take a tour and apply.
ogprep.org, and that's also where families can apply. And you're pushing for tuition families right now.
Yes, we're pushing for tuition families. If you go on our website, we have a tuition calculator where you can kind of put in your family size and your income to see if there's scholarships available. We have some founding family discounts, sibling discounts, and another cool feature that we have is special discounts for first responders. So if your viewers are doctors in the medical field, first responders, police officers, we have a special discount for them as well.
That's awesome. And our state has Wisconsin Choice through next month, right?
Yes. Wisconsin Choice ends April 17th, but we are holding spots, but we're also encouraging people to apply early so we can kind of get you in. And we have some really cool events coming up for enrolled and prospective families. One event that we're hosting at the North Campus, and the North Campus will be done, is we're having a Northbound event April 30th. Students and families can take a tour of the campus, meet our principals, meet some of our staff. So really want people to be a part of something very special in the North Shore.
Oh, it is. I can't wait to get a tour again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It teaches the whole child. Your family will be transformed.
They
truly.
will be transformed, Julia. We want people to come see it in person, come meet leaders, schedule a tour, and see what we're building.
She is Crystal Flanoral, Senior Director of Communications and Engagement at St. Augustine Prep. Thank you for joining us for the Sunday Sip.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Julia. It's been a pleasure.
It's 9:29 and 39 degrees at WTMJ.
When severe winter weather hits, you can count on Menards. We have a wide selection of products to help you get ready for the snow. Save on snowblowers, shovels, ice melt, and even generators for emergencies. Don't forget about your vehicle. Menards has ice scrapers, windshield de-icer, jumper cables, and more to keep you safe on the road, all at the lowest prices. Winter weather can get challenging, but you can always rely on Menards to keep you prepared and save you big money.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Nail Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait. Call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your car can't express its gratitude when you get an oil change, but the people you're helping will sure appreciate it, because when you visit an Adam member new car dealer through May 16th, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. To date, Adam has donated more than $960,000, providing 2.8 million meals. To find a participating Adam dealer near you, visit adamm.com. And thank you.
We're coming up to 9:31 on WTMJ, and we've got Nazir Spencer in the Breaking News Center, and there is an inmate on the loose, Nazir.
Yes, thank you, Libby. A Dodge County inmate is on the run after failing to return to jail from work release on Saturday. Officials say Anthony J. Johnson left the Dodge County jail around 7 o'clock Saturday morning under Huber privileges to go work in Oakfield. Investigators say he reported to work but left the job site later in the afternoon in a blue 2002 Chevy Trailblazer with Wisconsin plate ASD 9787. The vehicle was last seen by a license plate reader in Fond du Lac around 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Authorities say Johnson has ties to the Mayville and Fond du Lac areas. 4 people were injured in separate shootings in Milwaukee Saturday night. A 20-year-old was shot around 2:30 Saturday morning near 22nd and Center after an argument at a house party. Later that evening, a 21-year-old was shot just after 6 and that was near 12th and Keefe. A 22-year-old man was arrested. A 25-year-old man was also wounded just before 7 near 12th and Chambers. Then around 11 Saturday night, a 15-year-old was shot near 31st and Wells. Police are searching for suspects in 3 of the 4 shootings. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. No major issues in our area, just a few disabled vehicles along I-41 in the Racine and Kenosha area. If you're heading up north or northwest, just be mindful that those roads are slick and the snow is just messing up the commute for everyone right at this moment. So if you're heading up to, Green Bay or northwest to the Dells area, just be mindful of that. Otherwise, looking pretty clear in our area.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here's your WTMJ forecast today. Windy with occasional showers and possibly storms. Some mixed north with the high of 51. Tonight, very windy with rain or storms changing to snow through the night. 2 to 3 inches by morning in Milwaukee. More northwest and less southeast with a low of 21. Monday, snow and wind with a 3 to 5 inches total in Milwaukee. 6 to 12 well to the northwest with a high of 26. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 23. Wednesday, a chance of a few snow showers in the morning and a high of 38. And Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 45. Winter weather advisory for Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties until 4 p.m. this afternoon and 10 a.m. this morning for Washington and Ozaukee counties. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 37 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:34.
Hey, Nazir, have you ever been in one of those blackouts where because of weather, just everything turns off all at once?
It's bad.
Isn't it a terrible feeling? Have you gotten a generator yet?
I don't think so. I think we might have one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what you need. But you know what? There are a lot of things you need to know about that generator before you turn it on. And we've got somebody who's going to tell us exactly what we need to be aware of, because it can be dangerous. We'll tell you right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopco Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Son, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And eat pizza.
Preferably a Marty's Pizza, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do everything we can to keep the prices low. We're a family-run business, and many of our employees have families. I want to make sure that as tight as it gets, a growing family can always afford to enjoy a Marty's Pizza.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember. Marty's Pizza.
Not as bad as it's going to be. Let's put it that way. I'm Libby Collins. Welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. On Friday, there were literally thousands of our listeners out there that lost power because of those high winds. And I know I've experienced that many times where we've had those blackouts, and a lot of people out there do all the time. So what do? You get a portable generator to at least make sure that the things in your freezer aren't going to have to be thrown away when your power actually goes back on. But there are things we need to know. And joining us is Guillermo Rodriguez. He is with the Portable Generator Manufacturers Association. And I know, Guillermo, you are aware of the weather that much of Wisconsin's going to be experiencing here over the next 36 hours. And you're quite concerned about making sure that we are prepared with those generators. I mean, they are a wonderful option to have, but they can turn dangerous if they're not used properly.
That's right, Libby. I'm very happy to be here and help your listeners stay safe and learn how to safeguard their households against the dangers of carbon monoxide poisoning.
All right, so tell us, first of all, before that blackout occurs, what do you need to be aware of with your own portable generator? How do you prepare to make sure your family's going to be safe when it does switch on?
That's a great question. Preparation and planning. So just like fire safety, you need to have a plan and practice it. You need to have all the supplies that you need to make sure that that generator can be operated far away from any house, garage, dwelling, anywhere carbon monoxide emissions can build up. So make sure to have extension cords that are long enough to stretch outside the house. Make sure to have gasoline, of course, in the right containers. Make sure to have carbon monoxide alarms. Let me talk about that for a second. It is impossible for the human senses to detect carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide alarms, in the event that there's some carbon monoxide coming into the house, they will pick up an alarm. And this can save you and your family. So very important to have this plan and practice it. Don't wait for the storm. Read the manual and never place a generator inside a place where carbon monoxide emissions can build up.
We're talking with Guillermo Rodriguez, and I know, Guillermo, you've had over 2 decades of experience looking at quality and compliance for consumer products. What are some of the things that you have heard have happened to people because they didn't do proper preparation with their generators?
Great question, Libby. I think that the main thing here is if the warnings that are everywhere in those generators, place your generator away 20 feet is the recommendation from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. If it's not placed in the right location, it can lead to tragedies. And I mean individuals, families, getting poisoned or even fatalities, because once again, it's impossible to detect carbon monoxide. So not really paying attention to all of those warnings and practicing that it's a very dangerous situation we're dealing with here.
Do you suggest that most people, because it just seems that the way the world is today, we're seeing more of these blackouts. Do you suggest that, if you can afford it, that you should invest in a portable generator?
Yes, portable generators are definitely one of several options. They come in different sizes. So your listeners should be thinking about, do I need this generator just to run maybe a small fridge, a heater? Do I need it for several pieces of equipment? And then going into to do some research to figure out the size that you need. Do you need a small one, large one? Do you also plan to run some electronics? That's also important. You can't just connect a laptop to a generator without recognizing what type of generator it is. You need an inverter for that case. So do your research. There's many options. If you go to any of the stores or research on the web, it can lead you to finding the right selection for your needs.
Should a portable generator ever be inside the house or garage when it is working?
Absolutely not. I mean, there is just a very simple message here, which is take your generator outside. Not doing so, bringing a generator inside a closed space can lead to poisoning very quickly. And poisoning then can lead to death. So it is very important to be aware of your surroundings. If anyone starts to show some symptoms, maybe they're feeling dizzy, they have headache, nausea, just go outside immediately and pay attention to those carbon monoxide alarms. That's very important. You should have one in every floor of the house and near every sleeping room when a generator is being used. And again, keep in mind the safe distance. Those things all together are very important.
Great advice from Guillermo Rodriguez from the Portable Generator Manufacturers Association. Is if you're in a situation tonight where you're going to need that generator, keep all of that advice in mind. Thank you so much, Guillermo. Pleasure talking with you this morning.
My pleasure. Stay safe.
9:43 on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources, help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
9:45, 39 degrees at WTMJ. You know, we're used to using our insurance cards. We write a check or we present a charge card when we get medical care, right? But retired family practice physician Dr. Cindy Nosacek tells me how patients pay their bills when she works at a clinic in Uganda.
We know what it's like when we walk into a clinic here in southeastern Wisconsin, but what was it like in Africa?
They have hours where they see patients, but you don't get an appointment. So people come and it's first come, first serve. Some people may wait several hours before you can get to them. They have an inpatient area where they see mostly malaria and then a maternity ward. We didn't do... if you had heart disease, you had to either go to a hospital 30 minutes away or more likely the one 2 hours away.
The people you're caring for really make do with what they have.
Yes, and they have to. So when the time comes and to help support the priest that serves the church, a lot of them will give items like chickens and vegetables and homemade brooms instead of cash.
Have they ever tried to pay you in an unusual currency?
Well, I get paid in chickens.
I'm sorry?
I get paid in chickens.
What do you mean?
Chickens. They give me a live chicken.
Well, that's something to click about, isn't it? Well, you know, it's not all work. When Cindy Nosacek travels to Uganda, she explained an experience that most of us will never have.
You actually did a gorilla trek.
Yes, we did.
What was the experience like?
They drive you out, and then you walk to where the gorillas are.
You walk to where the gorillas are, but the gorillas live in the mountains.
Yeah, you're right up against the mountains.
I mean, how far did you have to walk to find gorillas?
We actually didn't have to walk that far because we're so old. Not like some of the younger people. Some of them walked for an hour or more. I think we were like 15, 20 minutes to where we could go to the gorillas.
And what was the experience like?
Well, they take a stick and they hit them on a tree, and all the gorillas come down from the trees because they know it's going. And then you just see this gorilla family, with the dad and the moms and the babies. And if you get too close to them, daddy may just give you a little growl or pound on his chest, and you step back a little bit. But it makes going to the zoo not as fun.
Dr. Cindy Nosacek has spent over 30 years in family practice right here in Milwaukee. She told me how she was the first pregnant doctor in her residency program. She also explained why she decided to no longer practice medicine. And she shares experiences about dozens of trips she's made serving the people of Uganda. And it's all this morning at 11 o'clock on WTMJ Conversations. You do not want to miss it. She's such a fascinating lady. All right, it is 9:48. Still ahead, we're going to talk with a Marine vet. She is looking for some volunteers, and we'll tell you why right after this on WTMJ.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's Renter's Insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and I want to tell you about the dentist I recommend, my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Conmawalk Dental Care. If you've been putting off a cleaning, dealing with tooth sensitivity, or you're ready to finally fix what's been bothering you, this is a great place to start. Dr. Michaels and his team are welcoming, thorough, and focused on your comfort. They explain your options clearly and help you feel at ease in the chair. From regular checkups to crowns, cosmetic improvements, implants, and Invisalign, they can handle it all. And if something happens unexpectedly, they offer emergency dentistry too. I make the drive from Milwaukee to Oconomowoc just to see Dr. Michaels and his fantastic staff. They're that good. So call 262-567-7224 to request an appointment today, or just visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. That's 262-567-7224 or drmichaelsdentalcare.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Of duty in Iraq. Now she's looking for women to join a veteran-led humanitarian aid organization. Joining us on our WTMJ hotline is 17-time Rubicon deployment leader Larissa Murray. And Larissa, my dad was a Marine, so I know how tough you need to be. What drew you to the Corps?
I have a long family history of Marines. So my father was in the Marine Corps, and my two eldest sisters were in the Marine Corps as well.
Now, how has your experience as a Marine led you to Team Rubicon?
Yeah, I think getting out of the Marine Corps and going back to school, I was really missing kind of that serving others, that sense of community and camaraderie. And so immediately after getting my master's degree, I deployed on my first Team Rubicon operation out in Moore, Oklahoma, and really saw that the organization was drawing on the best parts of the military, kind of that esprit de corps, the camaraderie through hard work, and I really got hooked. And so after that, I just became more and more involved and was lucky enough to come on full-time to the operations staff in 2019.
What does disaster response look like? I mean, most of us will never be in that situation, but you've been there at least 17 times. What is an operation like that like?
There's a lot that goes into planning an operation like that, and we're lucky enough to have a large volunteer base that these volunteer leaders work through that process pretty quickly to get boots on the ground as fast as possible, sometimes within 24 hours of that initial ask from the community. Once we're there, we follow the incident command structure. So we have a handful of volunteers who who are in charge of determining the work that we do and make sure that we get the right people and tools to those places to get the work done. And when we go into these communities, which are often facing a lot of resource limitations following a disaster, we try to be as self-sufficient as possible. So we try not to draw onto the community resources, so we set up our own billeting, and we try not to take, any additional housing options for other folks. We'll often stay in gymnasiums or maybe a local church or a community center and bringing in our own food. We have someone in charge of making sure all our people are fed and trying to be as self-sufficient as possible.
I'm sure that every operation is different, but what was the most recent one in which you were involved?
Yeah, my most recent deployment was up to Alaska this past fall following Typhoon Halong. And I deployed out to Bethel, Alaska. And Bethel, Alaska and the surrounding villages are hundreds of miles off the road system. So trips are certainly a challenge in operations like that. But we worked with many partnering agencies to use small aircraft like helicopters to get our gear and our people out to those villages. In Bethel, Alaska and Anchorage, Alaska, we really focused on donations management, but we were also able to get out to some of those more remote villages like Tuliak, Alaska, which is located on a frozen floating tundra. And we were able to help that community remove wet insulation from beneath their homes and help dry out their homes and reinstall dry insulation.
We're talking with Team Rubicon deployment leader Larissa Murray, and you are looking for more women to become involved in disaster relief. Now, as you said, you spent 5 years in the Marine Corps. Are you looking only for women who have served in the military?
No, Team Rubicon is full of veterans and first responders and civilians, and we do need people with all experience levels and different backgrounds in life to help us to offer the most effective and meaningful response capability that we can.
So what kind of training do you go through in order to become involved?
So you don't need any training up front prior to joining the organization. You just need to have that drive to serve local communities. And once you sign up, that's the first step, and you're stepping into a new arena. And after that, there will be a lot of different training opportunities within our organization for our volunteers. So this can be anything from, chainsaw operations, heavy equipment operations, to learning how to be one of those leaders on a deployment and leading the charge on the ground. So you don't need any prior training, but once you get in, we'll give you all the training you could ever dream of.
And once you're involved, do you have to pay your own way to get to these disaster areas, or is that covered by Rubicon?
Depending on the size and the scope of the operation, we will initiate flight waves, but Team Rubicon pays for those flights. It's not the expense of the volunteer. And if you're local and driving to the operation, we do provide a mileage reimbursement for those folks that are driving in. So yeah, you just got to sign up and raise your hand, and we'll pay your way.
Larissa, as a veteran, I'm sure that you're thinking right now about our military in the Mideast. Do you have any suggestions for loved ones who are listening and might have family members who are over there?
I would say just continue to be, a network of support for that individual or for your loved ones abroad, and be there for them as best as you can and however they ask you to be. I know it can be tough. Sometimes you don't get all the communication that you want and you worry, but just trust that, they're doing what they love to do, and just be there and support them.
Finally, Larissa, how can we get more information about Team Rubicon?
You just need to go to our website, which is teamrubiconusa.org, and there you can read more about our organization, about our mission, and you can sign up to be a volunteer or you can donate.
Larissa Murray, thanks so much for joining us today and telling us about this important mission.
All right, thanks for having me, Libby.
That winter weather advisory is going into effect at 10 o'clock tonight for Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Ozaukee counties, as well as a winter storm warning starting at 10 tonight for Jefferson, Washington, Sheboygan, Dodge, and Fond du Lac counties. That all is going to last until 4 tomorrow afternoon. Now, what we can expect locally is a temperature rising up to 51 around Milwaukee today, but it is going to be windy. We're going to have occasional showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Then tonight is when the wind really picks up, and that rain is going to change to snow throughout the night. 2 to 3 inches of snow by morning in Milwaukee. If you go north or west of the city, you are going to see a lot more snow than that. If you go southeast, a lot less. Those lows tonight, 21. Then tomorrow, snow and wind with a 3 to 5 inch total, and going out even more than that as you're going to the north and west. Keep an eye out. 39 degrees right now, and Nazir will have more with the news on WTMJ.
So if you're looking to install a new glass shower door, you're going to want to see selection.